Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to stop your dog from seeking attention. Now, the thing is with this, it can be that there is something that you haven't done for your dog and he needs a little bit more attention. He needs your attention, you haven't done something for him. However, there are plenty of dogs out there, and Harry here is one of them, where they're just being naughty. All their needs are met and it is just being naughty. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm just going to quickly just whip through the basics, make sure that you have seen to all their basic needs. And then after that, I'm just going to talk to you about what to do if your dog has got everything a dog needs. You've done everything that a dog needs you to do, and they are just being naughty and attention seeking. I will go through what to do if that is your situation. Have you fed your dog? But not just have you fed your dog, but have you fed your dog enough? Because if you're not feeding your dog enough and your dog is hungry, then he will be seeking attention. He's got to, it's survival. So have you fed your dog enough? I have actually got a video on how to know if you're feeding your dog enough and to know how much to feed your dog. But it's really important. So have you fed your dog? But have you actually fed your dog enough? Has your dog got water? If your dog hasn't got water, he will seek attention. And that's because he's panicking, because water is a survival thing that they need. Dogs must always have access to fresh water. I often see this thing that's being advised, it's so wrong, about if your dog is going to toilet during the night, then to withhold water from early evening right through to the morning. That's really cruel. Don't do that to your dog. It's really, really cruel. They need water at all times, access to water at all times. Now, so often when I talk to people and this is what they're doing it because the dog's going to toilet during the night or asking to go out during the night. And I understand that you don't want that. But what's causing that is that they've fed them dry food. So for their dinner, for their last meal, they had dry food. That made them drink lots and lots of water and they couldn't hold it and they needed to go to the toilet throughout the night. If you feed your dog a wet food, then that won't happen because they won't have to drink so much water to counteract the dryness of the food. And different people that I've spoke to, as soon as they've switched to a wet food, the dogs have stopped asking to go out at night time. But please don't withhold water. That will panic a dog. Please don't do that. Have you walked your dog? Now, I don't just mean 5 minutes around the block, but I mean a proper walk. Good 45 minutes to an hour. And that doesn't just mean 45 minutes of exercise, because for some dogs that's way too much and you'll overstimulate them and they will want attention from that. But it means like 45 minutes, an hour of sniffing, sitting around watching the world go by, some walking, some exercise, some running. Nice balanced view of it all. If you haven't walked your dog, you absolutely are. They are going to seek attention, and they have every right to, because dogs need to walk. They need to get out into society. They need to have fun. If you're not walking your dog and your dog's seeking attention, that absolutely is something that you've got to do. Get your dogs out every day for at least 45 minutes, if not twice a day. My dogs are older now, so I just do once a day. But we go out in the car and we go to different places and they have fun and they get out and about. If you're just leaving your dog indoors all day, they are going to seek attention. Harry, down. Good boy, you're such a good boy. Sit. Harry, sit. Good boy, such a good boy. Yay! Such a good boy. Here comes Albert. Albert, sit. Good boy, good boy. Right, mental stimulation. It is just as important as physical exercise. And it's really important that you do some every day, even when your dogs are old. It's just 5-10 minutes, a few commands here and there. It doesn't have to be anything major. But what really is important is that if you've got a dog that you are trying to tire out with just physical walking, you'll never achieve it. The more you walk the dog, the fitter the dog will get, and you are never going to win that battle. He'll just get fitter and fitter. The walk will have less effect on him. His behaviour will get worse and worse. You will never win that battle. And so if you've got dogs like German Shepherds, which is what I've had, yeah, exercise, of course it's important, but then you need to really be putting some effort into into mental stimulation. Now that can be training like I do in my boys, or it could be Kongs, it could be different toys that hold games. If you go into my channel, there's a playlist for indoor games, and one of the games that I do is I can't say it because they're listening, but FIND it. That's a game that wears them right out, and do stuff like that with them. But even when they're older, just 5 minutes of some simple commands, it's just enough to keep them mentally stimulated, because that is just as important. And I, again, so many dogs I've met that are really, really attention seeking, and they've had their walk and they've fed and watered and all of that, but they've got no mental stimulation. They haven't used their brain for anything, so they're just buzzing. Soon as you do some training with a dog, you will wear a dog out really quickly, and you will notice that if you do some mental training with a dog, they will be exhausted really quickly, much faster than physical walking. But you do need both. You absolutely do need both. Okay, so if you've just done all of the things that I've just mentioned, that unfortunately means that your dog's in the naughty category. And this little darling here, Harry, he doesn't do it so much now, but when he was younger, he would be dreadful for just wanting 100% attention all the time. And obviously that can't be. So let me go through some of the things to do. So you've done everything that I've just mentioned. Your dog wants for nothing. So it's pure naughtiness. Oh, pickle. Pure naughtiness, nothing more. He's purely being naughty, and the behaviour has to stop. And you do need to stop the behaviour, because if your dog is a dog that's just going to be seeking attention all the time, that's not going to be a nice dog to live with. He's going to create a terrible energy in the house, and it's not nice for him. He has to learn his boundaries. So first things first is no eye contact. Do not look at your dog at all. Don't look at him, not at all. And the other thing with this is, don't shout at him or tell him off in a bad way, because attention is attention, and he doesn't care if it's good attention or bad attention. Attention is attention. So do not tell them off. As hard as that is, don't tell them off. Now, I know you're going to be getting really with him, because it's very, very irritating when you've got a dog constantly coming at you for attention. And there's various different ways they might do it. It could be barking at you, it could be pawing at you, it could be putting his head in whatever you're doing. Then different dogs can do it different ways. And what some dogs will do is, when they're not getting your attention, they'll go and do really bad stuff. And I had a German Shepherd once, and when he was going through adolescence, he used to do this, and he had all his needs met, more than all his needs met. And he would just do anything to get my attention. And what he used to do was, he used to go and get the cushions off the sofa and lie on the floor and basically pretend he was going to shred it. He would never have gone through with it, but he was basically going to pretend that he was going to shred it. And that escalated, and I was ignoring it, and I was ignoring it, and I was ignoring it. And because he was getting so frustrated with me, he went and picked up my tortoise one day. And I knew that if I reacted to that, he'd have won, because then every time he wanted my attention, he'd go and pick up the tortoise, and he's won. As hard as it was, I had to turn my back and walk away. Now, I knew he was never going to hurt the tortoise. I knew that he wasn't. I knew it was just trying his luck. And as it turned out, of course he didn't. And I would never have ever left my tortoise. Never, ever. I would never have left him at risk. I just knew he was playing me. So they can try different things to do it, but trust me, it's very irritating. But please don't lose your temper with them, as hard as it is. Don't shout, don't lose your temper. Attention is attention, and certainly no eye contact. Now, the only time I do talk to a dog that is attention seeking is when I stand up, I put my hand out. So let me just demonstrate over here. So I'll stand up and I'll put my hand out, and it's a very clear, like that. Very clear, like that. And I very clearly say, stop. Stop. And it's very clear. Now at that point, I direct eye contact. So direct eye contact, put your hand out and say, stop. so that if there's any doubt in his mind as to whether or not you want the behaviour stopped, that puts an end to it. He knows that you've given a clear command, you've been fair. If he then goes on to still seek attention, I will then remove him from the pack, and I'll remove him from the room, and I'll put him into another room and leave him there until his energy changes. They hate being put out of the room, or, you know, if you're in the garden, put them in the house or whatever, but put them away from you. They really, really hate that. But as long as you've given that clear command, really clear, no question about what you meant, if he then chooses to. Now the thing is, what a lot of dogs will be doing is, this will be happening in younger adolescent dogs. They're trying you to see who's in charge, who's the pack leader, what they can get away with. And so you've got to make sure that you don't... Look at Harry, he basically sleeps in this. It's the back of the sofa, and he kind of makes a hole out of it. And they're just trying you, and you can't fail, because if you fail or you slip up or you allow that behaviour, that's how the behaviour is going to be for the rest of their life. And you don't want that, and it's not fair on the dog. No dog is going to be happy living like that. I've done videos on how to get your dog to listen to you through your energy, and how to get your dog to be good by being a good pack leader. If you don't know about any of this stuff, if you're new to the dog world, then go and watch those videos, because they will help you to understand what's going on and where you are in the pack, and how important it is how you behave around your dog, what your dog is reading off you by how you behave. If you've got your energy good, and I know it's hard when a dog is trying to seek attention, I know it's really irritating, and you are clearly the pack leader and you've seen to all of the dog's needs, then attention seeking will stop. Trust me, it will stop. The dog's got nothing to gain. If he doesn't get your attention, all he does is gets put out of the room. He won't continue with it. He's got nothing to gain at all. If you haven't done any of the things I said, then he's got everything to gain, and he will keep going. Like I said, if it involves food or water, then obviously, of course, he's going to keep going, and he should keep going, because obviously it's falling further and further down his hole. You know, they're things that he needs, and he should keep going until he gets them. But if you've done everything, this will stop attention seeking. The dog's got nothing to gain from it, but you just nice and clear, see to all his needs, do everything I just said, clear command. If he doesn't listen, put him away from the pack. He will learn quick enough, well, this just gets me put in the kitchen, this is no fun, rather than being in with the pack. It just gets me put out, and they will stop. Honestly, can I just say something? You will get some dogs, people put this into place and they just stop. Yeah, never happened again. And then there'll be other people who will be like, he's still doing it. And there are probably dogs that are naturally higher up in the pack, and they will still do it for a bit, and they will try you out. You know, are you really up to this game of looking after me? Because dogs do that. All dogs do it. And they will maybe go for a bit more. You just got to stick in there. But honestly, it won't take long. It won't take much longer, and they will stop. They always do. They will stop, and they'll just be a really nice, peaceful dog. But if you get it wrong at this stage, that's when it all goes wrong forever. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions about this, if your dog's doing anything, you're not sure if it's seeking attention or whatever, please just ask me and I'll help you. Any comments at all, pop them into comments. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Furry and Spoilt, hashtag Furry and Spoilt. Although I keep forgetting to use that hashtag, I know I should be. I keep forgetting to put it on my posts and stuff. But it's all there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.